Picture this. A totally normal Friday afternoon, Simi Valley, California. Maybe the biggest news is someone sprinkler going off schedule.
Yeah.
Sun's out, week's ending, and then bam, something appears in the sky.
Right.
And it's not a bird, definitely not a plane, not even one of those drones you see everywhere now. It's something else. Unidentifiable.
Moves strangely.
Moves strangely, then just vanishes. And this isn't like science fiction. This apparently happened. So today, the Simi Valley sky mystery, we're looking at what was seen, sure, but also what happens when something totally unexplained pops up overhead? How does a community react?
Yeah, and the real kicker here isn't just the what. It's how fast something ordinary turns into. Something that makes you question things, sparks this whole search for answers. Our source material for this is a news report. It's from CLAIR News, Simi Valley, July 28, 2025. The headline, Simi Valley Sky Mystery, Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Sighting.
Pretty direct.
Very. So our mission really is to unpack that main eyewitness account. It's just one, but it's detailed. Then we'll dig into how the community reacted, all the different theories, sometimes clashing theories.
Right.
And finally, we tackle the big silence, the lack of any official word. But we want to pull out what this tells us about, observation, how we perceive weird stuff, and just the unknown right above us.
Okay, let's start at ground zero. The eyewitness, David Sanchez.
Right.
He lives in what the report calls the Sun-Kissed Tract in Simi Valley. Sounds like a typical neighborhood.
Just a regular guy.
A regular guy, late Friday afternoon, maybe around 4 p.m. He looks up, sees this object. First, it's moving slowly, eastward.
Uh-huh. Not fast. Deliberate.
Yeah, deliberate's a good word. And then it just disappears. Vanishes. Gone.
Into thin air, apparently.
But that's not even the strangest part. A few minutes pass, and it reappears.
Okay.
But not where it vanished. It shows up again over to the west.
Whoa, hang on. So it vanished in the east, reappeared in the west a few minutes later.
That's what he reported, yeah. Implying it covered some distance or something happened in that gap.
Okay, that is weird. And did he have a sense of how far away it was?
He did try to estimate. He said it seemed, quote, a minimum 25 to 30 miles away.
Wow. Trying to judge distance on something like that, that's tough. But it shows he was really looking, really trying to figure it out.
Definitely focused, and he saw more detail, too. At one point, he said he saw 2 or 3 lights flash, then they disappeared.
Flashing lights.
Yeah.
Okay. So not just a solid object, something with activity, fleeting. The report mentions someone arguing it hovered too long to be a balloon.
Okay, so using its perceived behavior to rule out one theory. Makes sense.
But then someone else jumps in and says it wasn't high enough to be a satellite.
Huh. So one person's hovering rules out balloons, another's not high enough, rules out satellites. They're canceling each other out.
It's a perfect example of how we filter the unknown through our own little mental models, right? What we think we know about balloons, satellites, physics.
Yeah, we try to impose order, even if the data's confusing or contradictory.
It's that cognitive struggle, that need to make sense, playing out in real time in public.
It wasn't all serious debate, though. There was some gallows humor, maybe.
A bit, yeah. The report mentions a few jokes, like if it was a UFO, no one's going to tell us anyway.
That feels familiar. A sort of cynical acceptance about official secrecy, maybe?
I think so.
Yeah.
It taps into that existing narrative, that feeling that maybe the public doesn't always get the full story on these things.
But it wasn't all jokes or debates. For some, it was genuinely unsettling.
Right. The report explicitly states at least one person said it creeped them out.
And that makes sense, too. Something you can't explain, behaving oddly in your sky.
Yeah.
It can be disturbing.
Absolutely. It's that disruption of the norm. It challenges your sense of, what's possible, what's supposed to be there. It hits a more primal nerve for some people.
So you have all this noise online, drones, balloons, aliens, military craft, jokes, fear, a total mix.
A whole spectrum of reactions.
But amidst all that disagreement, did anything emerge that people did agree on?
Yes. Despite all the different theories, there was one point of consensus mentioned in the report.
Okay.
Pretty much everyone agreed. It wasn't a commercial plane, and it wasn't following any normal flight path.
Okay, that is significant.
Very. Because that's the most common explanation for stuff in the sky, right?
Right.
A plane.
Right, you see planes all day long.
So for the community across the board to say, nope, not a plane, not flying like one, that collectively rules out the most mundane answer.
It confirms the anomalous nature of it, in a way. Even if they couldn't agree on what it was, they agreed it was weird.
Exactly. That consensus on what it wasn't really solidifies its status as genuinely unidentified to them It forces everyone past the easy answers.
Okay, so we've got the sighting, the buzz, the theories, the one point of agreement. What happens next? You'd expect, I don't know, some official word.
That would be the logical next step, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Some statement from the city, the FAA, maybe a nearby airbase.
Yeah, something to clear it up. Oh, that was just a weather balloon, or we were testing experimental tech, whatever.
Well, here's where the story just hangs. The report makes it very clear. Total silence.
But for the people who saw it or heard about it, that lack of an answer?
It just lets the mystery fester, right? It allows all those theories, from the mundane to the wild, to keep swirling. There's no official grounding. It kind of breeds speculation, maybe even a bit of mistrust.
Yeah, you can see how that would happen. The absence of an explanation becomes part of the story itself.
Precisely. It's a key element now. The silence is as much a part of the Simi Valley mystery as the sighting itself.
So, circling back to David Sanchez, the guy who saw it first, did he have any final thoughts on it all?
He did.
Uh,
And it's less about the object itself and more about looking.
okay.
He basically says he's always looking up. It's just something he does.
Sure.
And then he offers this thought, kind of an invitation. People would be surprised at what they see if they just looked up at our sky.
I like that.
You are listening to CLAIR News, Simi Valley.